Alex Richardson.
You were close again. Remember, only one off. It even says on the logo
God
right there for everybody at home.
Obviously.
So, as we get underway into this one, G2 will be starting on the CT side. It's their T side where we have a massive amount to talk about from their Australis game just yesterday. But let's wait and see how this one rumbles on down. Nafany, he loves a good fight over towards A. I think he's going to get it.
Bada bing, bada boom. Jax's pistol, he is fast. Running away with a lot of the pistol stats. Unfortunately, Dust settles and his hard work is all for naught. He's got a one-man disadvantage for his squad to overcome. It's going to be Hunter and Nexa equipped with a pretty perfect set. Admittedly, looks like Hobbit's got Molotov and a smoke still to play with. Hunter has to acknowledge that they could go B. Gambit cut noise.
Perfect play here as well, and yeah, not only Hobbit's util, but Inters. So if they want to just set up the standard smoke wall towards the back of the site, they can. Left side being smoked off. Molly towards Sandbag, just some insurance required. Hobbit will fill the gap, and they even have an HE for the boost as well. So everything they needed.
They're not even planting. This is just to see if Nexa wanted to jump up the boxes, if anyone wants to push the smokes. Enables Hobbit to set himself up in a very powerful position. And now the bomb is delivered. Still Nexa, yet to reveal his tricks. Very predictable position for sure. And he's got a smoke. He intends to use it for sure. That's interesting. Yeah, now Hunter can isolate Inters. Hobbit's there in a prime position to catch the walk up. And look at that. That's calculated from Gambit in this afterplan setup. Impossible to break. You can see how little of Hobbit Hunter could see. Oh, so frustrating. You can see his backpack sticking out. But as soon as you walk a step further, great shot from Nexa. Only the first. But yeah, I wondered why Hobbit was so tucked in, a little tighter than I'm used to seeing, and you could see why. It just meant that Inters could only be responsible for that right side of default. Yeah,
it looks like they've worked on that type of a crossfire there before, but all in all, Gambit, under pressure again, they just hit the brakes and they walk away with a simple round, all things considered. You know, when you can see the util you have, and we can see with X-Ray what the best option is, and they still manage to do that best option, right? Things are going very, very well over there. Now, if they want to keep this one quick, we can be done in 2.
So just when you have those Gambit reactions, like the dust settles, you've lost your early frag, 4v4, 4v3, and then they cut noise. Oh, Nafany actually walking through that smoke enables Jax to collect what I was just talking about. So now my question stands. How on earth do you trifle with Gambit cutting noise, and then you know, they're waiting for your CT info pushes. That's what they're waiting for. So how do you get the info to actually be in the right place? At the moment, it's just Nexa. Very tight line. Drops the smoke for himself to play around, and now we'll peek over it perhaps. A chance here, good chance. Oh, damage. Finished off by Hunter. He surges forwards, wants to punish that quad cross, can't connect. Now the 3v3 with a very clear indication towards B. A great shot from Nico. It finds the head. And that will lead to a bit of hesitance on that plant. Shiro planting default. Nico slinking into another headshot, and his deagle is working wonders today. Axel to come up clutch.
He's been heard now. He's even worried about the flank here.
Well, Nico's not going to be finishing it off. Maybe it's Jax or Amanek. Both have their SMGs, but the shots are being hit, and Axel is such a threat. Pulls them across the line. 1 versus 3. Gambit will not go down to the Deegs tonight.
Oof, kid's an animal, and we haven't even had to say his name too much of series so far. Just poised there with that AK, no pressure.
I'm calling it now. Once Axel's, you know, lands back, he's lifted a couple of trophies, he's got a bit of an ego. He's getting the full sleeve, dude.
You reckon? He's that type of kid?
I don't know. I can see it. I can see it now in his future.
Okay.
Maybe his graffiti from the major.
Something that he. Oh, you go into the future again, have you?
Yeah, I have.
All right. Well, back towards B we go. Flash on over. No real aggression here.
He's even got a nade for their aggression, naughty boy.
Yeah, that's really cool. From here, you can also throw a molly. So if the CTs do cross the stairs, you can actually molly them out of position or contain them. Either way, Axel just being a bit of a bully over towards the B bomb site. Defensive utility used, forces this rotation for G2 all the way back. And on the map like Vertigo, where the layers are above each other, you have to be very sneaky beaky. Shift key, important for not giving away those sound cues. You can see how quiet this rotation is. Oh, and it was the right rotation, but it's not going to matter. Nafany's taken down 2 already. They've stacked the bomb site, sure, but you have to make the kills. Hunter has something to say.
Ooh, Hunter has a lot to say, and paired with Nexa, it's threatening. Can be finished here, though. 1 bullet is all it takes for 1, but there's a trade, and Hunter would need a 4th. It's just too much to ask of him. With a little CZ, few bullets left in the clip. Hobbit is there to finish it off. That's a threat. they're always a threat at G2.
Expensive rounds, right? Like that was a very expensive round, even though Gambit got those 2 opening kills. So great work there from G2 to make it costly. Now we can get underway with these weapon rounds. Amanek back into the big green.
I'm interested to know how he's going to be plying his trade over towards the A side. AWP can do an awful lot in terms of just enabling more bodies to play reactively through that mid and B. Let's see if he posts up. If he gets there in time, he is going to be partnered up. And the smoke does completely block him out. Now, Jax did catch the Navity walk up. Extra hesitance in play.
This will be the interesting little game. We remember in the past, Amanek was the madman for G2 who'd run into this position with SMGs. Well, he's doing the AWPing. Jax has to feel that with the rifle. This smoke is going to fade.
Yeah, dude, is he planning to stick around here? Nafany's walking on him. There's 3 people looking at him, and he still gets the frag. The swing could come in. Flash to keep him and enable his retreat. That's great. Jax 2 for 2 on his ramp containment.
Oh, they're boosting for this. Oh!
A one-way drop for his teammate. That's nice. Jax can confirm and maintain some degree of control there. Amanek's so flashed off the line. They have progressed. I wonder if they're ready for that. That gap, it could be pipped by Hobbit here. Nico finding another. That's Inter's gone. Hobbit does have to be the hero, and he does step up. Amanek could fall victim to Hobbit as well. The space has been taken. He has been so good for Gambit here in the semi. Yeah, Nex has been jiggling relentlessly. He confirms that Axel's on his way, and he tries to time it perfectly as the molly's released from his fingers. Oh. Caught on the move. Shiro shuts him down. Hobbit did catch that Hunter A play. So now a Jenny smoke is thrown, and they go B. Nico will be ahead of it. God, their util usage, dude. Now he gets a chance. And that chance is seized. No time for this. Hobbit does find a miraculous frag, and he'd have to kill him now. Okay. Amanek's movement is just enough to save the day, but he gave it his best shot, didn't he? There's a universe. There is a universe where that impossible 1v2 with 8 seconds comes through. Yeah,
where it's not a jiggle, or not a jump and it's a jiggle, right? And he's able to convert in that moment there. But all in all, great stuff from G2. Sketchy round, right? And it came down to the time. I didn't even realize there was only 20 seconds left, and it was quite spread from Gambit in that moment.
That one.
Yeah, just, right? Just. But Gambit, they buy back in. Pressure towards B. Axel a little bit more heads up this time, and Amanek peering on over. Him and Jax have taken a chunk of nade damage, and they're continuing to fight.
Yeah, that's a great smoke. Just arrives late. Nah, and enables a frag. That's 3 for 3. Jax, every round so far, has managed to house Gambit, at least initially. Of course, the rounds haven't always been translated or converted. He's sticking around on the edge of this smoke. You'd be asking a lot of him to get another frag now. 60 HP, close quarters against 2 of them. There it is. Hobbit will find it. They flash Amanek on the advance.
Well, they dropped that one way again, not playing behind it this time. It's going to allow Nico to tuck into 1 sandbags, and there's only 1 Molotov left from Inters, so if they decide to go back to A, Nico will be a big problem. It looks like B late on the docket again here. Smoke towards the stairs will buy a bit of time, but it also allows Gambit to try and boost on up.
What's the legal ramifications of assaulting an air conditioning unit?
Nothing, I don't think. I think it's just destruction of property.
Okay. But like if I just got a bat and just...
Yeah, look, if you let us film it, we can use it for content, and ESL will be okay with it. But if you just break it, then we might have to pay for it.
Well, they're on their way to Nexus domain. He will be Molotov'd. Oh, he won't. Here we go. Oh! Axel strikes. Nice from Hunter, even nearly a third. Inters is forced off the angle. He has got the bomb. If he could just find the frag, that's enough for a round. Nice from Hunter. Doesn't let things spiral. Hobbit, of course, is a threat, but with 25 seconds, the clock is G2's best friend at this point. NS in the chat. Nexa compliments Axel's nonsense, but Hobbit, he seems alert that they could have taken a lot of space here. And with 10 seconds left, he seems to be giving up the fight for the bomb, would rather just try and do more economical damage and survive himself. Seems like a perfect little hidey hole. G2 aren't going to get greedy. They're just happy to be putting a second on the board. And courtesy of Hunter.
Yeah, that shot from Axel onto Nexa was brilliant. That little leap on over the top, you can see him just bounding up like a gazelle. Oh, ridiculous stuff there. Absolutely ridiculous stuff.
But what a clever movement path as well. You know, like he's A, got a very effective and accurate weapon while moving, and B, he's managed to land it so He's only getting the info on the jump and can be accurate when he returns to that little lip. Very cool. Timeout immediately upon the loss of that round.
Seen some funky move, not funky. Well, funky in the good way funky, right? You know, like we're getting funky. Not the, oh, that's a bit funky.
Yeah,
you know what
like
I'm talking
funky
about.
feet, not a funky party.
Like Quesarado yesterday in the vent room in Mirage when he did a little bop.
Yeah, that was funky.
Kill. That was nice. And this one here from Axel as well, so it's cool. Doesn't result in a lot, but always fun to watch.
Just anything that stops us from saying the words smooth and move together. Now, they do sound nice, but everyone has made that connection now, and it's a daily struggle to not say it out loud.
We can talk about, you know, if somebody stuffs up the movement, they got 2 left feet.
There it is.
Yeah, see, we can work on this.
Foot loose, we can start making references. He's got a good idea about the boost there. That was behind the box, tight from Nico. Brings them down low, and the knee puts them even lower. Gambit, there is a ring in, and their knees a little wobbly.
Good CT side defense so far out of G2, and they're looking good to convert another here. This harassment over towards the A ramp, just the way that they're doing it, it's not the all-in, right? It's not that we're just going to stop you at your smoke and vice versa. It's actually quite well thought out. Sorry if I sound a bit surprised there, but...
This is a real problem. That's their hero, AK, who's taking a brunt of that.
But they continue to harass. Like, the aim on the likes of Nico and Jax to just repick this, some of the best in the server right now.
Yeah, and this smoke is such a great threat for their walk-up. Oh, spots out Exile. Could get swung on and realizes it. Nafany from the sandbags. That's a quick one from Jax. He had to find the head. It was only the only thing visible. And now the broken Gambit chipped away at. Limper smoke.
Not the weapon for the job, Axel. Trying to fight the boost position with a MAC-10 from Sandbag. Look, they've been able to scrap back some real estate.
Check in on this Hobbit Nexa exchange, because I think he's got up completely unnoticed, unscathed. They can't be planning to go back to B, can they?
Not with 20 seconds. Instance is starting to get a move on. Hobbit's now making noise. They just need to die at this point.
Yeah. Well, Exile's managing to make it hurt. Nico keeps them just away from that default spot. And this frag onto Exile's everything. Nico's the one to provide it. Shira just doesn't have the time. They do need to die.
The lost bonus, you need to die.
They're working on it. They're working on it as best they can and making it hurt along the way. Hobbit will keep hold of the AK.
Again?
Again, yeah. Well, they do manage to make it costly. Like, they're just milking everything they could possibly get out of a lost round. And they did, actually. Fair play.
I think that's the mindset. The point that you just made about that, the lost round, right? At about 20 seconds, when 2 players are on 7 HP and you don't have any real estate on the map, it is a lost round. But the best that they could do there was keep the CT economy honest. You had to die or save like Hobbit did. So yeah, sure. That's maybe one of the ways to look at Gambit. Every situation, they're going to try and get the most out of it. It's not just one of these where they, well, that's not true either. They do the 3v5s where they just save sometimes too. So I get it's all situational.
I wonder where that input comes from. We're operating in a bit of a blind spot in that respect.
Yeah, it might not even be live input. It might just be stuff that the theory
precisely.
side of Counter-Strike that they've
where
discussed
did
before.
where do those foundations come from? Is that group conversation? Is it Nafany kind of laying down the law? Is there a big input from Constantine, the coach? It's a conversation, of course, that I think I'd love to dig in deeper once we get our hands on the players.
I think the key is, as long as, whatever happens in the round before, they don't allow the negative to go into the next, that right there is key for any team. And Gambit never really looked flustered.
So again, the battle, and this has been a big component of G2's success so far, has been winning this duel out and really making life difficult for Gambit's ramp.
Yeah, the constant harassment, right? The different looking smokes, the one-ways over the top, the constant spamming. Amanek hasn't even gotten a kill, and he's one of the A defenders right here, so you can see how much they're doing just with their bodies.
I'm not in love with a walk-up shot against potential pistols, never mind AKs. Puts himself in a bit of a box. He will have to hit this first shot. Hobbit's definitely going to be a nerd about the jiggles. Okay, so they're just going to use this AK to try and keep CT feet planted. A little poke and prod for information. Hobbit's making as much noise as he can.
Yeah, and noisy over towards short as well from G2. Maybe trying to bait up a pick into that AWP.
Oh, and Nico actually giving them the duel. It's an even trade. Neither of them goes down, both on a scrap of health. Passes the buck to Shiro. Axile's look towards B has been neutralized. And now, well, obviously a bomb plant would be a dream. by keeping Nico honest, he has fallen into a passive line. Now, Hobbit could try and overwhelm this aforementioned AWP Jax setup. This is surely going to bait him in. And there's the miss. Nice cover from Jax.
Well, they all survived. Great round there from G2. Actually, 4 great rounds in a row, really, and 3 of which have been all timeout rounds. So there have been saves for Gambit.
Well, Nico did tweet that finally we're playing our map pick.
Look, I made a tweet the other day about G2's map pool. I feel like I have no idea where it is, where it's at, where it's been for a long time, right? Because there was always the joke about them picking Dust 2 and always losing it and finding their identity. I didn't think it would happen on Vertigo, but if this turns out to be one of their stronger maps, great. Back we go. The guns are out here. It's not a full buy. You can see Hobbit there struggling a little bit with a Galil. Utility's not great either. This is a pressure round for Gambit to operate in. Jax just continuing to be an absolute nuisance.
Just saying, in the silence gun watch.
Well, it's helping him a bit.
Admittedly, this is probably the best team to use for the example of being a proponent of that silenced 2900 M4. They can boost for Hunter here. It's going to be about how well trained he is. Yeah, next jiggle, they'll have a shot. Wait, he's with the Galil, and he makes it work. Hobbit, that's such a big find. Gambit sees an advantage, and in response, smoke is dropped. Jax, aware he's being hunted, or at least concerned. He might want to take this fight. Shiro's posted up, though. He really cannot toe this line anymore. Just tucks in as Nafany clears. Gambit are gathering A, and G2 are on the wrong side of the map. He doesn't have any util. It will have to be his weapon that does the talking and the defending. Slipping through short as they aggress through ramp. It's not the worst case. Inters has been given the responsibility of housing that. Oh, and Jax, he does strike beautifully. Not ready for the Hobbit swing, or at least unable to convert it. Just like that, the round will fall apart. Gambit just committing to the A site after finding that opening pick.
Yeah, and great work. They've watched the demos. They've done their homework. We saw that setup out of G2 yesterday, right? The jiggle from that construction position in middle. And that's all it took to unravel this setup. I love how much they're allowing Jax to just be his own entity on that site in a lot of these scenarios, right? Because the fights that he's taking, I think, really suit him as an individual. Very sharp aim, can constantly be a nuisance. It's not something where he gets to decide when and how he wants to rotate on back, depending on the conditions. So it's a lot of pressure. But so far, so good, as now we're tied up 4-4. And you will be seeing this buy come out of G2 again. So there's plenty of cash. They can drop the guns across. No dramas whatsoever. And that was the opening. So not working with a lot of util to help again, but working with an idea of the setup, able to find that initial pick. And maybe now we'll see a gear shift. Full nades, AKs, all the goodies. Both teams with a full buy brimming over here as gap smoke has been thrown. Shiro and Nafany looking to go quick over towards A. Amanex now over towards the B site, initially smoked off, and both teams just stopped on out here.
Jax, you got no silence at that time. Still unloads 30 and they can't find him. Very brave stuff. Wants to keep them honest on A. Axel walking through his own smoke here. Nexa playing up close. Previously, of course, catching Nexa in that very same spot with a Tech 9. He's aware of it. Supportive util from Nico. He can actually do a full util set from mid for that B clear.
Ooh. And that's a very difficult spot to clear on out there for the CTs. Axel will be able to take it back. The Molotov has subsided. And now they can creep on in, even boost up if they'd like. Nex is behind the tall box in sight here, just on the jiggle.
He's been holding this angle. It's powerful. He still doesn't finish it off neat and tidy. Finally takes Axel down, but the space is taken. Look at Inters go. Flash, perfect. Frag, better. Tight, no problem onto Nico either. Well, that's the round. Unless they fancy their chances, Amanek yet to frag. He does have all the equipment he'd desire for this, and maybe they are going to dip their toe into the site, see what they can find. It's Jax with a full util as well.
Yeah, these nades could be nice if they can get a molly. Displace them a bit here. There is a chance.
Yeah, Hinter's incredibly low, crossing back towards that site. They are testing. Shiro is such a threat, posted up on both sides of that gens, and I think Amanex thought better of it. Would rather grab at AWP and AK respectively. Even Nafany wanting to try and...
He might get one here.
Well, if he'd have not made so much noise, I reckon he had a pretty good shot at that.
know exactly where they can stand, barely taking any damage. Not in the line of the CT's fire and able to drop back and hold on to everything. Gambit get back in the lead here, 5 for them. It's so interesting that G2 just have, like Jax was solo A that round and we saw him aggressively spamming down through the smokes. They had so much more of a lean, heavily ready for mid, ready for B. Still dropped the rounds. And even after that initial exchange there, so great stuff from Gambit with their trades, the conviction behind their B execute. And they forced G2 into a weird spot. They've decided to take a partial here, a couple of deagles and one goes right. Hobbit now below the ladder. Hunter, well, he's pinned on in here.
Oh, there's Amanex first.
Hobbit's climbing up the ladder. They even knew that Hunter crossed and he still went up. Okay, brave stuff, but he's got all this for free.
Oh, he's ready for every exchange. Nico does avenge his fallen cousin. And unable to piece together enters.
Oh, they're straight into B. This is very quick stuff.
Yeah, but Nexa, he's only got a USP. I mean, I don't know if there's anything... Oh, I say only a USP. It's the pretty new one. Not going to save his hide here, though, as the util will likely burn him out or spray him
that
out.
combo.
It was so perfect.
The smoke, spam into the smoke, Molly to flush him out.
And the 2 save rifles
Picture
got
perfect.
nothing available to them. It's impressive stuff out of Gambit. They've called a perfect game there, avoiding both of those potent weapons recovered from the previous. Jax won't be holding on to his, though. Inters make sure of that.
Yeah, look, the loss bonus starting to build here. 2,400 in the next for G2. This orb, Amanek, he's given up the position now. How long can he retain it? Well, not much longer. Axel swings around the corner, takes it down, picks up one for Shiro, and things are looking great over there. G2 are working on their buy now. Amanek can get back into an AWP. We've got the silenced M4s coming on out again. So there's 3 in play. Nico, Hunter, and Nexa all into the silenced M4. It's just Jax who has the M4, A4 equipped right here, right now. But Gambit have been showing, you know, a bit more focus towards middle, a bit more focus towards the B bomb site. They've been deterred from A with the fights that Amanek and Jax have been winning. They're changing it up again. Back they go.
Yeah, let's see if Jax can once again send them to the other side. And on the push, it's Nafany that wins the fight. The trade is not there. Nico gets absolutely bamboozled with just a Mac-10 as well. Hunter, he knows he's under a lot of pressure now. He'll fall back into an elevated line. Would need 2 heads immediately upon the cross, and he does find them.
Nafany's low still.
Yeah, it's a competitive round if Nexa and Amanek can piece it together, but their rotate is so delayed. He's gone round the world. Amanek's still uncertain of the mid lurk.
The bomb hasn't hit the site just yet. Gambit are hitting pause again. It's this fight right here. If Nafany can win against Nexa, it's all over. Now there's a chance.
It does to find the frag. He actually takes contact so early, but it does leave Amanek in a very dire situation. A smoke, does he have the kit? No. Could find this Hobbit close line, but he's perfectly tucked in. Hobbit's positioning.
It's so cheeky.
It leads him to such favorable duels. 13 for Hobbit. He's having one of the best series I've seen out of him in some time. Just consistently at the top of that scoreboard, against G2 no less.
It's crazy these first 2 from Nafany, right? The second kill is huge. The first one, he's actually lost out on this duel time and time again to Jax in this series, but the fact he gets away with it, and he gets the second, that felt like the round. Hunter did his very best from that passive position with the M4 spray, but not looking good here for G2 as they are once more back down to just pistols. Got flashes and smokes to help contain and contest. Jax just loving playing over this ramp smoke. They've already pushed on down, very disconnected here. Amanek's already dead. More damage done. Nades are following through, and this one looks like it's crumbling for G2.
Oh, same fate. And the fight's just come to them. Even Axel on B now, just in case Nexa thought he'd be safe. They know he's not hiding on the site.
Oh, bottom might be showing. Just got around the corner there. Oh, this won't be extended for much longer. Axel's had enough of this silly business. That's 8-4. Seeming very Inferno-esque right now. And we asked the question at the start of the day, especially considering the 2 matchups we have, Gambit and Heroic. the world #1 and #2 right now. I don't think anybody could really disagree with that. But the question is anybody else on that elite level right now? Is anybody else able to tussle with these two big boys?
Or will we have another full 5-map best of 5 between those two nerds?
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? If we get that matchup again, we get to see the two best teams going toe-to-toe. If we get somebody to disrupt that status quo, it's a whole new conversation.
He loves it, doesn't he? And Anthony's going to hear that pin pull. He might try and punish on the back of that.
Smoke's about to fade here.
Jax isn't ready. Oh, he does adjust. And no possible trade this time for Shiro. Smoked off, flashed off. And G2 given a red carpet run to their 5th here. They've got Nico and Hunter partnered up in middle. That's very quick to rotate into B should they be required to do so. Next up, he's been alert of the right side boost, but perhaps the left is a challenge. A step too far for Gambit. They do nade him down nicely, so they will try and take this space. Jax, however, walking straight into Shiro, and he's going to charge forward, not backwards. He wants more, and now Amanek's getting run down. Shiro opens the door to A, and Gambit complete 180 off the back of one man. He's got the full util set, no worries. Nico's been forced to acknowledge it's possible A. Gambit are up to their usual hijinks here. They've parked one. Oh, so much depending on what Hunter finds here, and that's perfect. By clearing it out, concern of Nico grows even more. Oh, and Hobbit's hitting everything. That was a one-on-one. He didn't even need to call upon Shiro.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a lot of info.
He's low.
That's a lot of info, and Hobbit will just be the bait. Shiro looking to finish it. And just as he looks away, Gambit strike again.
I don't know what you're meant to do in these situations because that, like, Hunter just cleared. Now he's just looked away, and as soon as he looks away, he picks off him.
They're boosting B. Our B player just died. I'm going to walk down ramp. It's all justified decision-making, but Shiro was there. Like, this is what happened.
But look how good this is with the util, right? As soon as Axel jumped up, they identified where he was, and there was like a nade and a molly that landed directly on Nexus. I was like, oh, well, I've done my job, but I'm immediately dead. Nico, just sitting waiting, takes that fight. Head blown off. Hunter, he knows that there's 2 left, knows where 1 is. As soon as he looks away from the other choke point, they swing. Like, if you looked at the faces there, they just, both Nico and Hunter just shook their head. Because what are you meant to do?
Yeah, it's too good.
There's just nothing you can do against that. Like, I don't know why Shiro swung then. I don't know what sound cue he heard. I don't know what intuition he had. It could have just been on a jiggle. But either way, 9-4, pistols again, double digits, almost a certainty for Gambit here in the first half. It's clean Counter-Strike, but it just looks mean, right? Like, they don't, in a lot of these situations, it doesn't even feel like they have a chance.
Clean and mean. It's a very succinct summary of Gambit. Yeah, it's no coincidence we use words like bully, we use words like just dominate, because there are games, and this is a semi-final, I will remind you, this is the playoffs, where Gambit make the most rigid, the most developed, and some of the most expensive rosters in history look foolish. Now, Almanac has got a bit of an opportunity here. It's a double dink required. It's an unretrievable AK. He'd love one. He'd love one, but Naphani's too ready for it. Nico is on a fast flank, so if Hunter can just keep him busy, perhaps that deagle from his brother-in-arms will be able to do some damage. Nice from Jax.
Oh,
okay.
Huge from Jax.
Has just popped off, and if he finds it, he's so good. Okay, Jax is doing what Jax does best. Intis is not going to get that bomb down, and G2 have an olive branch presented in the name of Jax and his Desert Eagle. I want to see that one from his side of things. The second shot came so quick on a complete 90-degree turn. It's
wild. Like, his aim for one of the older boys is phenomenal. Like, absolutely phenomenal. The first is, this is great shooting here.
The third, like, he's just cleared scaff.
Great shooting. Jackie boy. All right, well. Yeah, that smile. Yeah. Why not? I'd be happy with myself too.
A state of disbelief of what you're capable of.
Oh, remember when this game... Oh, hold up, here's the fight again. Nafany onto Jax. They're going to trade each other out. Amanek's nade saves the day. 4v4. Back into the chaos we go.
Supposed to be a guaranteed 10th. Jax decided it wasn't. Shiro is now ahead of everyone with this AWP, and he might even try and take down NiKo, you ballsy boy. Sweeping into the site now. Amanek, you better be ready. Or Shiro will strike. He's quick. You can see why he's compared and put in the same breath as Simple in hot pursuit.
Oh, NiKo's forced forward.
Nice find. Needs another. Shiro firing off a warning shot, but NiKo has managed to perfectly slip down the scaff. Inters is not ready for this, and this is a powerful double. The fact that Nex has got another as well puts Shiro on notice. 1 versus 3, and NiKo, his first. Wants the rifle. Doesn't get in time, and Hunter's there for revenge. Damn, okay, well, they kept them honest in the last 2. Vertigo continues in just a moment. Don't go too far. This semi-final's got more.
Хорош!
Молодец! Хорош, красава.
Не суетите только это.
Спасибо, да,
Nice, Jackie.
On side, on side. Planting.
Nice.
I have up.
G2 6, Gambit 9, just pulled into that competitive scoreline by Jax and a little bit of magic from the G2 boys. Great Deagle work. Myself and Chad are here to bring you the action. Maybe we get to see a little more out of the G2T side. Chad, we've seen a G2 Vertigo recently. It's in our memory.
Yeah, just versus Astralis yesterday, and a couple of things stood out. We had that B execution they had where they overrun Dupree time and time again, and the mid explode where they have this smoke. They just bank off the wall. It's quite passive, but it gives them the ability to run quickly over mid, split B, and get in the face of the CT. So let's see how Gambit handle a couple of these. The 1x bet odds are heavily favoring the CIS squad here. Did also note G2 were quite passive and slow in their approach, more than happy to allow space to be taken, only to take it back later. But NiKo's been boosted up very quickly here. 2 on the site to receive this. Here they come.
He smokes his teammate out. NiKo is fully blind, but right next to 2 of them, his back is turned. Inters can't believe his luck. It's about to be a big brawl. Looks like G2 have come out on top. Shiro hunted. That was the bomb, though. But Amanex delivered it behind the gen. That's not ideal, especially if Hunter goes down. That's a big if. Big if, and he doesn't. Finding the frag now relieves a lot of pressure. They put a lot of bullets into the smoke, enables Hobbit to perhaps take some space if he could hit a quick bang. Okay, they've spotted him out now. Does the bomb go in A? It might do. Jax is going to finish our problems. And G2 will take a pistol.
Now we have a game. Now we really have a game. As long as G2 can convert this one, might even see that third map and Mirage there. Things are going to start getting interesting from this point onwards. Looking much more threatening than map number 1.
That's so long as they don't fall foul to any Nafany funny business here in the Force Spy.
Yeah, he's got the perfect weapon for the job here. So if we get an A-ramp smoke coming out to assist, he will be creeping on down. I think Hobbit's lining that one up. Nafany fast for that crane peak. Meanwhile, G2 are working on more of this B action. Nafany secured A immediately. This heavy rotate over towards mid and B. Definitely possible, but he's going through. Nafany, absolutely insane play. Nexa receives, knocks him down.
That was the funny business, wasn't it? That might change things for G2, finding such an early scalp.
Oh, okay. Staying very interesting here. They're being pressured all across. This is the moments in where we see G2 fall apart after they've been a little bit tagged up by the Deagles. It gets late round and then...
Oh, he's going to pop Shiro in. They're going to be blind here, dude. Jax needs to find this frag before it pops, otherwise they're doing the dance. Nice find, he was tucked in tight. Inter's ready and receives with the deagle. Jax gone, that's one of the big guns. And there goes another Hunter, this time losing the AK. It's in with the retrieval. Nico wants to take space, but if Axel hears this, Crosshair's in the right place. Nico's got a lot to do. He's pushing him. Axel is caught on the retreat, and that enables a little bit of space, and it's only a little. Bomb to be planted. Nico's got to hold a lot here, and if they deagle, oh, fully blind. Inters gets him, and Gambit immediately snatch away the response. It was supposed to be 3, Chad. 3. Convert the pistol, the second force, however, even though they lost the early man advantage, 5 versus 4, and G2 get knocked on their bottoms. Let's recap. Walking into B, in response to the man advantage, it was all too easy. This is a horrible death for Hunter.
Yeah, after that man advantage, Amanek walking on his own, you know, untradeable. That one right there ties it up 4-4. Give me a second, Alex. I'll be right back.
Let's see. Nico actually does punish that missed spray from Hobbit. Deagles of their own design. G2 are chasing this dragon. Oh, tough one for Nexa. A tut of his tongue as he goes down. And the rest, I'm afraid, gets very difficult for this Deagle adventure that G2 are trying to forge. They've invested all their schmeckles into it.
These are the type of rounds yesterday versus Astralis that they somehow pulled off in the last 20 seconds, but the low HP, that make this even more difficult. Hunter's going to be first.
Oh, there you go, mate. There you go. It's Hunter this time. We know what Jax and Nico are capable of. Hunter reminds us as well. This is so easy to fall apart, though, with their low HP.
Yeah, if they overthink it as well, they might just run back into one of these rifles.
With 2 smokes up, you can't resist, can you? You want that plant. You're going to go for it. Jax using that smoke to pass safely. Playing safe now. Important round for G2. All of the red faces from the previous would be completely relieved and Gambit are out of there. They're just straight out of there.
They just don't know the HP right now, the G2 members. If they knew that combined we were looking at not even one full man standing, they might consider going for this, but the correct call is being made.
That'll do. That'll do nicely.
And Hunter really just silences them right there. Jeez. Huge shots. Wow. I didn't think it was going to be possible with the HP looking like that, and they even all survived. They only get their 1 AK out of this, but sure, they've the MP9. Look, it's a round, and that's what G2 are playing for right here.
I mean, it started the same. Poor old Amanek has been having a nightmare on Vertigo, and you can see it really did look dire. Nexa losing that duel, then Hunter happens. This second fight, oh, he had no right to win that. Look at his HP, 14. Shiro, 1 more bullet of that spray, and all his problems are relieved, certainly not restored.
Force by Wars are on, though.
Yeah, and, well, Nico hands a headshot to Winters. No debate about that one. Hobbit is in a very committed position. He won't be able to escape now with this much presence in mid. He's just looking for one and done. Mollied out. Get out of there, dude.
Focus on A right now. And
he's actually caught it. Nexa was holding the one side of the box. Nafany with an audacious push. And he's channeling them now straight back into B.
Full control, a weapon upgrade.
Hunter knows he can't lose the bomb, but he also can't just completely abandon that bridge flank. Amanek, he's been having a real tough time with Axile. This time he's got a team behind him, or at least he did. Past tense.
He got control. He wasn't just stopped at the door. Bouncer didn't go, hey, ID, please.
Yeah. No, it's actually, it's from Canada. It's provisional.
I know it looks fake. I swear. We just do things different. This is perfect for Shiro. Oh, couldn't get the tag.
Drops their own smoke against them. Hunter running up and caught just as he swapped to the util. Nafany's such a thorn in their side, and any of these scout shots hit are only going to make Nafany's job easier. There's a prime example. He can peek out again. He's even going for wild no-scopes.
Oh!
And it's gonna work! Jack's caught straight through the box. Shiro can do no wrong. Yeah, just get out of there. Nothing you can do. Resigns himself to a T-side save.
He's been heard, though. Very noisy about this up the ladder. Hob's going to find him.
He might even... Yeah, 2 seconds to spare. But then AK is recovered all the same.
Oh, trying to get... Oh, the safety railing's a little bit too safe right there. You're trying to hook his teammate up with an upgrade. Couldn't get it past the bloody rail. All right, well, that's a nightmare for G2 losing everything. Do they want to continue the force by wars? We saw them get it done with the Deagles before, but if the game continues in this fashion, Gambit, with the round advantage, doesn't take a mathematician to get you this one right. We'll get across the line first. Watch this out.
Let's just do that every time, I guess.
No
Bang.
scope, through the smoke, through the wall, headshot. That's what the hieroglyphs read, in case you guys aren't too familiar.
Never considered them hieroglyphs before, but it seems cool, actually. I like that.
Well, they didn't force here. They've just gone for Glocks and a Deagle.
Get to see just what G2 are made of when they are forced into this 12-8 scoreline. Nico's boosted position is already pre-aimed, and Exile seems very well drilled with his B defense. He's got his Angs, and he's got his Crossfire. Has his partner in crime, Inter's doing damage as well.
That shows you how good both teams were there. They both peaked at the same time, and both players got the kills immediately. So that Crossfire set up perfectly. And look at Nafany. He's going to lock the door on this. The MP9 is about to get a huge cash injection for his bank.
Might even be just as they're setting up the boost. Nexus Deagle. It's done ridiculous things. Gambit, however, not going to let that happen. Look at their immediate reactions to 4v1, by the way. Take a look at the minimap now. They just spread out, make sure they've got all of the potential cubbies covered. No route into the site. Just has to stand and fight. And Exile's not going to let that happen. Lovely find for Gambit, 12th found, and it was just the eco. G2 going to persevere now with what they can. I say what they can. It is going to be light in some respects. Ugh. Oh, they ride such quick highs and low lows. It is reminiscent of that quarterfinal we saw from G2.
This is the thing with the force by wars, right? It hurts a lot more on the CT side, but when you continue back and forth and then you find yourself with a 4-round gap, you have enough cash for most of your players to get a reasonable buy. It's not enough for the full buy. It's not enough for that game plan that you discussed. We're like, okay, we need everybody to have the full set of nades. We're operating with the AKs. We could take these heads up. Now you're going to be, look, Mac 10. You've got yourself coming in here with an interesting looking buy. I think that's the best way to summarize it. Amanek, Mac 10 for him if you'd like to keep this one fast. Galilla's possible. Hunter could go AK head armor. But either way, G2 really backs against the wall in this one. Would need some more individual brilliance to come on out. And Amanek has gone for the Mac 10, so maybe we get something a little bit quicker, a little bit more in your face. Here we go.
Big one for G2. Nafany desperate to contest the ramp. It's him and Shiro set up on the A hold. Hobbit's on sandbags, and they do have an opportunity to strike B, but how? As we established, Exile and Inter's B-site nerds, they've managed to find some great angles, and it does look like Nexus Adventures have been cut short.
There's
Here
two
they
on
come.
the site.
They're ready for this fight. Jax is completely blind, and it's going to be a 2 from Axel. Oh, even a 3rd on the cards. Hunter quick to the draw. Goes down to the nades, and Nico needs so much more. Fights left and right. It's just way too much, and Gambit will ease into a 13th.
Yeah, I think all the oxygen getting sucked out of the room here for G2. It's just the lack of the buys. It means the lack of options. Now we go into a round like this. It will just be the pistols again or another save. Well, they're one and the same, really, at this point of the game here. Almost destined for the 14th. Double AWPs. And we go again. Just looks too easy for Gambit here.
Staring at the flames, it's a Tech 9 flash push. Hobbit and Inters already seem very equipped for this. First contact found, they swing out. The flash not going to stop him. And it's just Hobbit having way too much fun here in middle.
He's loving this, isn't he?
Yeah, even the nades look great. Oh, God, that's going to hurt. Hunter, yeah, crosshair, we know it's not a problem. That was the smoke we were talking about. A huge gap this time. Oh, not far off the mark. No margin for error with health like this.
Before was ridiculous that they won. This would just be... This one here would just be insane, right? Like, when they won that round before and Hunter gets 2, that was great shooting. This time, if they're able to walk over 4 Gambit members with 23 HP combined, it'd be a miracle round.
Yeah, I think we've got a set amount of miracles that are allowed to happen. This one's not quite going to work out for them.
Just how passive Inters was. They're not showing anything. You can see how much Nico can see from this boost position, but still couldn't see Inters in that passive line. And now, as the clock hits 25 seconds, he'll swing back in, gets the final kill, and that's 14 for Gambit. Set up for another grand final here, and it's just another day at the office, really.
Yeah, I mean, this was the question coming into it today, right, Chad? We wanted to know whether or not anyone else that has, you know, weathered the storm of the group stage, that's managed to come out on top and be threatening, can make any sort of mark on what is the indisputable #1 and #2 currently.
And with that, you would have thought G2 could be one of those names that could be in contention, right? You consider the matchup these two had back during the group stage.
Ooh, Shiro's actually in a lot of trouble. Nexa will finish him off, and if they get Nafany, that was the round right there on a silver platter. 2 frags, 1 death favoring them. Hobbit and Inters are already reactionarily in the right place.
He's going forward.
Yeah, they won the fight and just bodyguarded by Nico as another double frag is found. Axile's AWP, you know where he is. Been walked up on by Hunter on short as well.
If he gets Amanek on the
he
flank,
might actually catch him. Oh, he's already slipped. Loudly stepping.
Seems aware that something's possible.
Yeah, wants to contest. Draw fire, jumping straight into Amanek, and he wasn't far off the mark.
Oh dear. You know it's a problem when he's in a 1-on-3 and every move it still feels threatening, right?
Yep.
You know, oh, he is going to hit him through the box. He is going to jump around the corner and hit that no-scope. Well, that didn't happen, and G2, 1 more round away from cracking the double digits. That was quick reactions there from Nico.
Flew around that corner.
Hops to his doom. Guns back out. You notice Gambit aren't using any silent step force, Alex? Just thought I'd point that one out.
Okay. Point Chad, point Chad.
A bit more careful this time, Nafany.
Yeah, and it's actually great work from Hobbit. Drawn in. Hunter goes down. Very little opportunity now for G2 on this ramp fight. God, the Gambit util is so suppressing. Every pop flash seems to connect. Off the ladder.
Even more.
Yeah. And Hobbit, they knew he was there on sandbags. That's a great smoke to enable him to just tuck on in for the short cross. That's a big find from Jax.
Sorry, what?
Just over the smoke. Predictive perhaps, but on the flash, it's a good chance. Nafany can't seem to finish off Amanek. It's always Inter's nades, though. It's not the first time we've seen him finish off a close duel. Brings him straight back into the even keel.
I don't think there's any dropping back for G2 this time, though. They're pretty committed to this. And Axile, he's secured that.
It's a question of how much he wants to push it. Knowing Gambit, not too much, but he is walking in. Nico's holding it, spots him out, and a big find. A couple of big deliveries out of Jax and Nico. Fakes the steps away. Full, loud, towards B. Shiro and Inters. Burrow deeper.
Calling the bluff here.
Oh, this can fall apart for G2.
Multi-kill potential for Inters right here, right now.
It's Jax. He is that blunt object.
Oh, back turned.
Nice find, only Shiro. Already caught the cross. The bomb needs to get to default. They don't have the smoke. The flash could have bought time, but Nexus
9
trapped.
seconds.
9 seconds. That was the shot he had to hit. Good God. And now Nico, he needs the frag. It's a USP versus an AK. 2 and 1. He's actually running the clock. Gambits take it. Shiro steals it. 1v3 and style points galore. His pre-aim It was for the jump, not the cross, the jump across the box. I want to see that one again.
Jeez,
And he has that hunt from Nico. He knows Nico's got a bloody AK dancing around the box. Let's see that shot again. God. One, it reads one as he pre-fires that corner, just tucked in tight.
Yikes, that one there is rough. Daphne loved that one right there, and so did we. That shot, jeez, under pressure as well. Just under all the pressure of the world right here.
He is one of the quickest.
Okay, well, they did lose everything. They had the round, but they lost all their guns, and G2's bye will be looking better for round number 25. They need 6 in a row right here, right now, just for OT. Oh, look how rough that bye looks. Shiro able to get an AWP out of it still. Famus's UMP, very, very light on nades.
This is just the B. U2 will stop him. Axar, wow, punished for his nade. His nade is punishing.
This B execute yesterday, they ran it against Astralis a bunch of times and it looked great. But they backed off already.
Yeah, and they're doing a double elevation mid-hold. I don't know, I mean, Jax is good, but there's no way he can get both of them, or one of them, without losing his life on this double peak. Never mind. He's shut down, and there's more on the way as well. Gambit set up perfect. They do choose to Scarpa.
Yeah,
they're happy to take that advantage.
Oh, the clock might be G2's biggest enemy here. There's a minute, they're down a man. They're really working with no map utility. Hunter's working on A.
Look how much they're moving around. It's constantly dynamic, the CT side. Shiro was B, he's now A. Very few Qs given as well by G2. They've been sitting still for most of this. It's just Gambit having a full rejig of their setup.
But there's 40 seconds and the bomb's out middle, right? If Hunter goes and tries to sell this, it's going to be over mid to B. They might catch Axel and Inters. Axel's the low player floating towards spawn. That was the chance.
That was the find, and look at Shiro already aware that he may have to go and take contact elsewhere. He's tucking into B, ahead of the molly, and even doing damage. Nexa does get tagged. Axel's the one with the frag. 15 seconds. It's a Mac 10 from Amanek. A good find. If he could just have dealt with Axel, maybe Nico can. And will, 10 seconds, get that bomb down. Nafany to play spoiler. He can win it right here, right now. He's just going to close the gap. Nico's vulnerable on the plant. He's pushed up. Nico has to hit this shot, and he just can't. Gambit steal it, and they're off to the grand finals. Another one for the world number 1. G2 humbled. And they just couldn't keep up. Unable to break double digits in both maps. The best of 3 goes Gambit.